Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or much good depending on your location. Please join in the struggle to liberate our people from the contraption. Like and share videos, news updates. Nuroluayo, na nuroluayo, nuroluayo, na nuroluayo. Ọ dịghị mgbe ike mmadụ ga-akarị ike Chukwu. Ọ dịghị mgbe ike mmadụ ga-akarị ike Chukwu. Nna nụrụ onye kere ụwa nuroluayo. Now the update is this.
President of Burkina Faso in the person of Ibrahim Traore has successfully landed in Finland, a country located in Europe. When Ibrahim Traore arrived in Finland, the president of Finland in the person of Alexander Stubb sent a letter of invitation to Burkina Faso's president and the person of Ibrahim Traore so as he can travel and meet him in the presidential palace or the presidential villa in Helsinki. But surprisingly, Ibrahim Traore turned down that offer. He was like, no, I have no interest on seeing you or visiting you. I have no interest in you. I have just one mission in your country and I'm going to fulfill that before leaving. This did not sit well with Alexander Stubb. He also sent his prime minister in the person of Peteru Oppo so as to try and convince Ibrahim Traore to visit him in his presidential villa. But Traore also turned down the offer or the request coming from Peteru Oppo, who, like I said, is the Prime Minister of Finland. So the question here is, why is Ibrahim Traore in Finland, a country in Europe? Why did this man travel from Burkina Faso to this part of the world? It's a statement made by Ibrahim Traore before he embarked on this short journey to Finland. A tweet: I would like to express my gratitude to all the peace-loving, freedom-loving patriots and Pan-Africanists who rallied around the world on Wednesday, which was on the 30th of April of 2025, to support our commitment and our vision for a new Burkina Faso and a new Africa, free from imperialism and neo-colonialism. Your active solidarity and this demonstration of sympathy strengthens our conviction that the fight we are waging for a fairer and more equitable world is justified. Like I said, this is coming from the official Twitter handle or the official Twitter page or X page of Ibrahim Traore. This man categorically stated that he's against neo-colonialism and imperialism. He doesn't want the Western world to have any form of influence in the African continent. He wants the whole wide world to treat Africans in any part of the world justly and fairly without any form of compromise. This is the reason why he traveled from Burkina Faso to Finland. Yes, he traveled to Finland so as to meet Africans who are unjustly locked up in series of correctional centers in that said country. Yes. So when this man known as Ibrahim Traore arrived in Helsinki yesterday, he made a trip straight to Lati. Yes, this man has a particular interest in an individual situated or located in Lati, a man known as Mr. Simon. This man known as Simon is being held or locked up in a correctional center which is known as the Kilamakoski prison. This prison happens to be one of the toughest and one of the hardest prisons in that country. Even at some point, Netflix had to do a documentary covering how hard and how difficult it is to survive in Kilamakoski Correctional Center. And that is why Ibrahim Traore had to travel to Lati so as to meet an individual locked up in that center. Surprisingly, when Ibrahim Traore arrived in Lati, he noticed that he cannot do all of these things all by himself. He cannot carry the weight of Africa on his shoulders alone. Yes, Ibrahim Traore cannot do all of these things all by himself. And that is why he had no choice but to place a call across to a lady, to an African woman known as Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah. Well, this woman happens to be the president, the current and the sitting president of Namibia, and she was sworn into power on the 21st of March of 2025. Over the past couple of days, the president of Namibia have shown great strides that she shares the same mentality and ideology with Ibrahim Traore, and that is why Traore had no option. He had limited options but to call her and inform her of the struggles he noticed in Lati, a city in Finland that is home to hundreds and thousands of Africans. Yes, while in Lati, Finland, Ibrahim Traore was greeted by and individuals representing Simon. A man, like I said, is currently being held in Kilamakoski Correctional Center. Some individuals representing the United States of Biafra government, the USB as it's fondly called, visited Ibrahim Traore in Lahti, Finland, in a particular residence. Yes, they had a short meeting, they had a quick meeting, and these guys from the USB nation briefed Traore on the current situation and the current happenings regarding Mr. Simon. Well, just in case you don't know, Simon happens to be the prime minister of this USB government, or the USB nation, as the case may be. And that is why individuals from this said USB government had to visit Traore and brief him on the recent happenings and the recent case of Simon. Well, Ibrahim Traore informed the leaders of this USB nation that, see, I cannot rescue Africa and Africans alone. I've already placed a call to the president of Namibia and she's on board. But I want you, the leaders of this USB government, I would want you to send a formal letter to her informing her of what you want and also asking her to recognize your country or your nation as a sovereign state. It reads, breaking Department of State, Foreign Affairs. As we continue to exercise our rights as independent states, the USB government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Simon, represented by the Deputy Prime Minister in the person of Ngozi Orabueze, has officially notified the government of the Republic of Namibia under the leadership of Her Excellency Dr. Netombo Indepupelila Nandi Indatiwa of the restoration and independence of the USB government through their diplomatic channel. So as you can see, the USB nation has officially written to the president of Namibia, informing her that, see, we want you to recognize our government, we want you to recognize our state as being sovereign, and we need your assistance. So, well, the president of Namibia has fully pledged her allegiance to the movement, to the USB nation. And now, let's go to the most interesting part of this whole video. Remember that I told you that Ibrahim Traore traveled to Finland so as to seek justice, seek fair hearings, and probably released some Africans held or locked up in series of correctional centers. So Ibrahim Traore managed to meet with Mr. Simon, a man held in Kilamakoski Correctional Center. Yes, he met with this man, and he also met with his lawyer, the lawyer representing Simon in the court of law, in the person of Carl Gumeres. They had a series of discussions and conversations that they want to be kept private. They don't want these conversations to come out on social media or any media publication in any way, shape, or form. They want the conversation to be held in private and stay in private. So as we speak, Mr. Simon has met with the president of Burkina Faso, and a lot of conversations has been had. Well, and Burkina Faso's president is currently trying to push buttons, make phone calls so that this man will be granted full bail so that he can return back to his family members and his loved ones. Ibrahim Traore was actually surprised that this man known as Simon has been in Kilamakoski Correctional Center from the 21st of November of 2024 up until this day and time. Yes, he was arrested in Finland on the 21st of November of 2024 and taken straight to the Kilamakoski Correctional Center. And this man has spent a total of 132 days in the Finnish Correctional Center. And Traore isn't too happy with that particular outcome. And as we speak, he's also pushing that this man will be granted bail in the coming days. But then, why Ibrahim Traore was in Finland negotiating with the Paijahame District Court in Lahti, something interesting was happening in Nigeria that we all need to see at this point in time. Yes, a particular group in Nigeria that wants to create their own country, a group that wants to create its sovereign state, noticed that Ibrahim Traore and some African leaders are now in support of the USB movement. This group in Nigeria had to come out and also make their own self known. Well,
My people, another hear them now. What do you make of it? Drop your comments. But remember, it's Biafra or nothing. Bye for now.